At the heart of a lot of the work we do in this lab is to acknowledge that people are kind of neglected by engineers. So if you asked an engineer to design a sink, they would focus on the sink, right? On maybe making the handles ergonomic or the temperature feel just perfect, but they might not think, hey, let's design the person's habits.
Water is a big issue today in our society, especially here in California. We're constantly worried about the drought. Another thing is that people aren't always aware of their water usage, and finally, the faucet itself just hasn't been innovated in a very, very long time.
We sought to see if this smart faucet could encourage people to save water while using it, and we also wanted to see if people's habits were adjustable. If interacting with this faucet could then change how people interact with a manual faucet.
We're not trying to say everybody uses the sink exactly the same way, which is what existing automatic faucets do. What we're trying to do is meet people where they want to be in their preferences for washing their hands and doing dishes by adapting to how they use the sink with a super smart sensor and machine learning algorithm that would learn their habits and adapt to them over time. Now, this experiment doesn't do all of that because before you invest in the sensors and refining the algorithm, the good thing to do is check, would people like it, would they save water? It's called a Wizard of Oz experiment because we have the sink, but then we have a camera instead of sensors, and we have the camera feeding to a computer behind a wall. The student is controlling the sink and the participant can control the sink. So they both have control of the sink. And in that way, they think that there's a sensor helping them wash their dishes, but actually it's William.
I had been watching them throughout the first phase to kind of understand their preferences and kind of how they like things. And using that information, I'm trying to leverage their cognitive style or their user behavior style to see if I can help them use less water while still keeping them happy. And we kind of measure happiness by if they are still manually adjusting the faucet.
Using this approach, we got 26% water reduction. But then there was a third step of the experiment, which was to wash your dishes again, but with no smart algorithm. And what's super cool is that people retain the training on using less water, and versus their first wash, they use 10% less water. Imagine a house where it's not just your faucet that does this, but it's also your shower, and every faucet in the house knows every person. I think once you get people interested and excited in conserving water, that there's a lot of possibilities.
For more, please visit us at stanford.edu.